What's up, guys? I'm here to do a quick review of MLB The Show 2018, the career mode part of it, which is called Road to the Show. I'm not doing a review on the overall game because, in all fairness, the rest of the stuff in the game isn't something that I'm into. I don't play it, and it wouldn't be fair for me to critique the game except for the part that I'm really into. So I'm just gonna stick to the career mode. You guys know that I really like the career mode in most of these sports games. That's pretty much where my interest is. So on right to it, I'm gonna talk about Road to the Show, and I'm gonna tell you right off the bat, it's one of the best career modes I've ever played in any sports game ever. And what I love so much about it is that it's deep, it's immersive. There's so much content and every detail is polished in the game. Am I saying it's a perfect game? No, that's not what I'm saying. But when a game is as good as this, I'm not really interested in nitpicking why it's not a perfect game. There's no such thing as a perfect game. But I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I give this game a 10 out of 10. The road to the show part of it, the career mode. And I'm telling you, 10 out of 10 does not mean it's a perfect game. 10 out of 10 just means it's a great game, and I don't find any flaws about it that would cause me not to enjoy the game or that even take up any of my time just worrying about it. The game is fantastic. It's the best career mode I've played, and the things I like about it, I guarantee you I'm gonna miss a few things, but I'm gonna talk about the most obvious stuff. First of all, the game visually looks fantastic. Okay, and if you have an HDR TV, it looks that much better because the lighting is fantastic. If you when you play in the daytime in the sunlight, the way everything looks, it just takes it to another level. Um, the stadiums look authentic. The crowds, all the little details that make each stadium unique is polished, and just everything looks great. I don't have I there's nothing about the visuals that stand out as bad at all. Then there's the audio. The sound in this game is fantastic. The sound of the ball hitting the the ball with a bat or the ball hitting a catcher's mitt when you throw a pitch, the crowd, even the ambient sounds. Sometimes you'll hear a plane flying overhead, and I played with my headphones on, and I literally took my headphones off because I thought there was a plane flying over my house, and it was the game. And there was a game I played, and you can hear like thunder. When you hear thunder like from a distance when it's gonna rain, but it's not raining yet, and it got cloudy during the game. It's those little details that elevate the experience. That's why sound is so important in a game. And when you combine the visuals and the sound of this game together, that's where you get that immersive feel. I talk a lot about things that feel immersive and the details, and that's what I'm talking about. Everything you do in this game feels authentic, and it's hard to describe, but it feels good to throw pitches, to throw a curveball for a strike, or to blow a fastball by a hitter, and just listening to that ball pop the catcher's mitt. There's something about it that feels good. It never gets old. And to hear that umpire call that third strike, and that batter's just standing there, you just blew a fastball by him. The sound is fantastic, and that's what makes the gameplay mechanics so enjoyable. It feels good to hit the ball, whether it's for a line drive double or a home run. everything feels authentic. And that's just how polished the gameplay mechanics are. So you take the visuals, the audio, the gameplay mechanics, all, and you put all that together, the game just feels realistic, and that's what immerses you in the game. But it doesn't end there. The career mode allows you to create your own player. The customization is very deep. The more time you spend on it, you can really pretty much create any look you're going for. And the only thing that would just elevate it is face scanning, which I've talked about before. And I do think that we're right around the corner from most games are going to have face scanning. And I really think that it's going to be one of those things that is just a common feature in any game, right? But we're not there yet. There's only two games that I know of, which is the NBA 2K franchise and now NBA Live, which I haven't played, but they do face scanning, and I just think we're this close to having it just about every game. So that's the only thing that would actually even be better. But there's so much customization options, and even though you're wearing uniforms of whatever team you're on, you can't change the look of the uniform, but you still can customize many things about it. You can wear a turtleneck, long sleeves, stuff like that, but you can customize the glove, you can customize batting gloves, you can customize the cleats. There's so much you can do. And I love customization because everything that makes it unique for you, that's all a good thing for me. Then the aspect of you're trying to be noticed so that you can get drafted. You choose the type of player you want to be. And this is where I really think that these guys have done a tremendous job because they made it more realistic. Where most games, they allow you to take XP and use it to boost your attributes, like let's say clutch hitting, vision, power, hitting for power, hitting for average, base running, speed and awareness, or defensive catching the ball ability, or arm strength. All of these attributes in the past, you use points to like build certain aspects up. Or in the NBA 2K franchise, you use your XP to like increase your 3-point shooting ability, or your free throws, or your ball handling. And while that's sort of immersive and fun, the what they're doing now is so much better and realistic. It's all based on your playing ability. Like you play the game, and as you play, depending how you play and how good you play, that affects your player's attributes. So if you hit doubles, triples, home runs, that increases your power. The left-handed, right-handed, whatever the case is. If you get a lot of hits, it increases your average, your vision, your ability to make contact. Um, Defensively, how catching balls without missing or making an error. Uh, your decision making, throwing to the right cutoff man, to the correct base. These are things that people take for granted, and you can't anymore. You have to be smart. If there's a runner on first and second, you have to know: is there one out, two outs? What am I going to do when the ball's hit to me? If it's a fly ball, which base am I going to throw to? Am I going to go for the cutoff man? If there's a runner on third and there's less than two outs, and somebody hits a single, or I should say second base, and the hitter hits a single, do I try to throw the runner out at home? So you have to be careful, because if you don't get the guy out at home, the guy who hit the single is going to end up on second base. So you chose not to throw to the cutoff man or to second base to prevent the runner from stretching a single to a double. Okay, that will actually bring your rating down. So everything you do matters. And I love that. And it's more realistic. And the better you play and the better decisions you make on the field, your player's attributes will go up accordingly. The same thing if you make bad decisions, it'll go down. So your player they won't be as good at certain things until you actually play better again. So your player is never really at a point where, okay, I got my player to this level, and no matter how bad I play, his attributes stay up. That's not how it works. So I love that. And that is more realistic, and it makes everything you do important. And every play, you think about it. You have to think about it. And what I love about Road to the Show also is that it focuses on you. You can, if you want, play every pitch of every inning and control everything if you want to. But baseball is a lengthy game, and Road to the Show really cuts everything down to you. So basically, you're only playing when it's your turn to bat or when the ball's going to be hit to you. So you're playing your situations in every game. And I love that. And it's just such a focus on every detail. And every play matters. And you can't just go up there swing at everything because it's going to ruin your attributes. And that's what's great about this game. And in that focus and attention to detail that you have to have while playing the game is what makes it immersive. And it's a fun thing. It's not one of those things that's, oh, it's a chore. It's fun. It's immersive. So you're actually enjoying the game and every aspect of it because it's important. Everything matters. These are the type of things I talk about when it comes to the lack of so many things in these NASCAR games, that when you play a game like MLB The Show, it's just gonna make you look at NASCAR games even worse than they already are, because they're so far behind what everyone else is doing, especially what these guys at Sony Studios are doing. By the way, I just want to bring up something once again. I did some research. I don't know. I can't find any information on the game engine that they used to make this game. So I can only assume that it's Sony's own proprietary in-house engine, right? San Diego Studios, whoever it is that developed the game. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because this never-ending debate on game engines, and I'm just telling you guys, they're not using these other fancy engines that people are always screaming about. The reason this game is so great is because of the developer. The people working on the game are talented. Not only do you have talented people creating the game and polishing everything and doing and rendering everything correctly, but the people who make the decisions on what this game's going to be structured to be like, they're making the right decisions. They have a firm understanding of what would be fun in the game. What would make this career mode so deep and immersive? And that's why the game is great. It's not the game engine. So I just wanted to put that out there because it's just another opportunity. It's not the game engine. It's just, I'm telling you, it's just the people in the development of the game. And the limitation is simply their imagination. That's the limitation. These guys, they've been doing this for a while, and the game's been good every year. So it's hard to improve on an already great game. And some of the criticism is that this game isn't that different from last year. But here's the thing. Last year's game was already a highly rated game. It's very hard to improve on an already really good product. And for casual fans, or if you don't buy MLB The Show every year, I'm telling you, buy this game. And you will understand what a truly great career mode is. And it's really good. And it also highlights all of the things I've been talking about that are missing in NASCAR games. And I really hope someone, I mean, it would be great if all these guys at 704 could play this game and play the career mode, the road to the show, and they can learn what they're doing wrong and learn how to improve and what's missing. And this game isn't just about on what's happening on the field, okay? How you practice and develop your player. It's cool. You even see your player on the bus, and that's a life of a minor league baseball player is riding the bus. You're not riding uh, planes. You're not on a team jet or whatever. Now, once you get to the majors, it's a different story, but it captures the feel of the minors, the stadiums, the crowds. It's a night and day difference. Once you get to the major leagues, you feel the difference. And you feel a sense of accomplishment. That's something else I've always talked about with NASCAR games. There's no sense of accomplishment. Everything you do in MLB The Show, it feels like it leads to something. You feel a sense of accomplishment. And even the simple gameplay mechanics are fun. You really feel every pitch you throw. Every time you hit a baseball, even running, chasing down a fly ball and making a great play or making the right throw to the base. All of these gameplay mechanics, you feel it because they put so much effort into the visuals and making sure everything looks authentic and the sound. So it's one thing to make if you're pitching and you throw a baseball to make it look realistic. But without the right sound, without hearing that ball pop into the catcher's mitt, it's only half the job. That's why sound is so important. When you drive a stock car in a NASCAR game, you don't get that full immersion because the cars sound horrible. You should feel the RPMs climb as you hit the accelerator. And that's just something that's hard to describe, but attention to detail. And that's the difference. And I really hope you guys try this game out because it does almost everything perfectly. You can custom tailor the controls to make them simple or as complicated as you want. There's so much customization, so many different camera angles. The game literally looks like you're watching a highly polished televised presentation. There's a retro mode where you can make the game look and play much more simple. And it looks and sounds like a game from 15, 20 years ago. And that's fun. And guess what? It's not DLC. It's part of the fucking game. They could have packaged this shit and sold it as DLC. And that's what brings me to my final point. The reason I give this game a 10 out of 10, on top of all the great things, and I left out a lot of stuff. I'm not going to get too much deeper into it. But the reason I elevated this game to a 10 out of 10, the career mode, there's no microtransactions. Now, I don't know about the rest of the game. There's so many modes in this game. You just get your money's worth and then some. But the fact that there's no microtransactions in the road to the show, there was a time I would say I can't really give credit to someone for not doing something shitty. But that's where we are today. That when a developer develops a game packed with so much content and there's no microtransactions, you kind of have to give them an extra pat on the back. And that's what I'm doing. So I highly recommend this game if you want to experience some of the things I've always talked about that make a deep and immersive, fully fleshed out career mode. You really need to play this game. And the replay value is super high. You can do a whole career in one position and just start your career over in a completely different position. You can play this game as a left fielder and then you just start all over as a pitcher and you'll get a completely different experience. I love this game, and I don't buy uh, these titles every year. The last MLB The Show game I had was from a few years ago, and that game was great. But they've managed to elevate it and just polish all the little details that much more. It's worth every penny, and I I don't know what else I could tell you guys, but everything that I've been talking about that's missing with NASCAR games can be experienced in MLB The Show 2018. So that's my thoughts on it. This review is strictly about the career mode. If you really want to know more about this game and get a better sense of what it is, I do suggest checking out any of the major reviews. They've all given it high reviews. Obviously, I've given it the highest review based on just the career mode. And the things that I enjoy and look for, it just nails for me. So maybe my review may not be the most accurate, and I'll be the first to say it. Plus, I don't know much about the other aspects of the game. There's a lot of different modes and lots of features that I'll never play because I'm not interested in that stuff. I'm a career mode guy. So for me, the game is worth it just for the career mode. But for someone else, you may want to know more about the game and get a much bigger, more accurate picture. And I would suggest, there's plenty of the bigger reviewers out there. Check it out. But for me, if you love career modes and you want something deep and immersive and you want to experience what I've been talking about when I talk about fully fleshed out career modes, this is it, man. This is what you got to try. You don't have to be a hardcore baseball fan either. This game can be enjoyed in many different ways. It's very customizable. So I'm interested to know, is anybody out there playing this game? What do you think? Do you agree with me on these details and the features I've talked about in terms of the career mode? What do you think? Also, if there's anything negative that I didn't talk about, or anything about the game that you think people should know, I look forward to seeing what you got to say in the comment section. One last thing I want to say. The more I think about it, my hopes, I do not have high hopes for the next NASCAR game. Because I gave them credit and I said that they were headed in the right direction with the last game. And they are. If you compare it to the first game, the problem is that everything is baby steps. And at the end of the day, where the franchise is as a whole, they're so far behind anything anyone else is doing. Whether it's the NBA 2K franchise, MLB The Show, or even Madden Football. Now, I know Madden Football, a lot of people have a lot of gripes about it. But as an overall franchise, they're light years ahead of NASCAR. So NASCAR is like the bottom of sports franchises for video games. And they have been for a long time. And I would say that the new generation of games started in 2011 with Technics. Every year we're getting crap. So I don't see them making that huge leap this year. And I hope I'm wrong. But that's what I'm afraid of. Because I'm looking at that graph and I see the trajectory, even if they're headed in the right direction, it's just slightly going up. And they're so far behind that that's not going to cut it. It's just not going to cut it. They're so far behind. And you play a NASCAR game now. Play Heat 2 and play MLB The Show. And then you walk away like, what the fuck? This shit is a bare bones demo compared. And I know I'm comparing two completely different sports games, but really, I'm talking about career mode. I'm talking about the details, the immersion. It's just two completely different leagues. And I'm just tired of it. It sucks because if you're a real NASCAR fan like I am, It's a bummer. It really is. But I'm just keeping it real. I don't see 704 suddenly taking the franchise from what we just got last year and then putting them on a level where they're doing the kind of things that we see in these other sports games. I don't see that happening in 1 year. And how many years do you have to wait for them? And then they're taking baby steps. So by the time we ever see a game that is this deep, this immersive, it can be 10 years. What do you guys think? I look forward to your comments. So have a good one.